Hello, what is the best way to organize tax record for taxes? Well, you don't really need to do much. At the end of the year, you'll download 1099 from your brokerage account website page, unless you want them to mail it to you. You'll be able to access it online and download the 1099 and save it. You create a folder for your tax returns and you save it there. You can print it out. You will print it out. You will save it as well. And when you are going to file your taxes, you will use that to enter your trade in your tax software. If they offer the spreadsheet version, it's good to download that as well. It could allow you to organize the spreadsheet, the CVS version, to organize a little bit and use that to copy and paste in the tax software, and then use the PDF to cross-check later to make sure you enter everything. But I can show you an example of a 1099 that I downloaded from our joint account, and you download it as a CSV. I like to download both the PDF version and the CSV version, and it comes, you will have the 1099 dividend, you have the 1099 INT, and then you have the 1099B, which will have your trades, the details. And having it as a CSV, what I like to do is organize it as a table, and especially the 1099B section where the trades are, just format as a table and click on one of those tables there. I pick this one, that's the one we have here, and that way it allows me to filter things, and I can just enter them, because when you enter it on your tax return, it's going to have the short-term game, the long-term game, is going to separate them, the summary of them on a form for you, and you can just use it to cross-check. Or if you want to enter them, one in the order you have them, you can do that as well. But yeah, I just like to have it as a table, so that on the form 8949, when I'm checking it with I'm cross-checking things, I can just choose one to see if my total match that as well, and so forth. Like my total match what is entered, and so forth. So that just allow me to do those cross-check. But other than that, I can copy things easily from the spreadsheet compared to the PDF. I can copy things from the spreadsheet and paste it in the software without having to type. So that allows me to save time there, since I already have a lot of trades to enter in the software. Allow me to copy those. And so if I traded one source multiple times that year, I should be able to see it here and decide if they are all short-term and if I want to combine them on one line or not, and things like that. But yeah, the majority of those things are traded once during that year, like purchase and sold once during that year. So every single one of those things will be entered one by one. It takes time to do those things, and I like to just have the spreadsheet version. That way it makes it easy for me to just copy and paste instead of trying to type, and then I can use the PDF version that I downloaded to check my totals, my summaries. But yeah, yeah, I just like to use the spreadsheet version. That's one way you can organize it. Just like to use the spreadsheet version to to do those, cross-check those work and make sure everything is well entered in the task software. Other than that, if they are mailing you documents, you have a sheet, you can have a folder that you can label the task year you are going to file with those, and you have it, or you have a plastic sheet and you put those returns, those documents, those task documents in it, and when you are ready to file, you have those to work with. And if you are going to download things, you save them correctly as well in your task return folder, so that you have all the documents that you downloaded in one folder, and the documents that you were mailed to or you printed, you have them in a folder, a paper folder as well. And as you are filing your tax return with the download document that you use, you can create another folder, label it recorded, and something that download a document that you already entered in your task file software, you move it from the document it was in to a recorded folder. You move it from the folder it was in the recorded folder, so that until you empty the original folder of those, that way you know that all those task documents, you use them already. And your paper folder that you have things in, as you enter things in the task software, you move them from one folder to another folder of recorded folder until that original folder is emptied as well. That way you know that you use all your task document, and document that you receive that you don't need, you move them out of that folder until that folder is empty. That way you know that you use all the documents you were supposed to use filing your tax return. So that is the way, one way, at least for me, that I found the best for me to organize my trade records for taxes. Is now the bookkeeping of your trade during the year that you are going to use to file your taxes. That will just, you can compare that to the 1099 you have to see if they are close enough. But the 1099 you got from your broker is what you are going to use to file your tax return. Just make sure you have it on hand when you are ready to file your tax return. So save it properly. You can still go to your brokerage account or your brokerage firm website, your account, and download it from there if you misplace it. But if they have the spreadsheet version, you can try to download the spreadsheet version as well, so that you can use that to copy and paste to make things a little bit easy for you. So today we are going to analyze EQR as of August 21, 2026. Which way have you found best for you to organize your trade record for tax filing purposes? When we are looking at EQR, well, we have one clean line that is passing by the higher lows of the chart, the valley. Like when the chart only have a few clean lines or one clean line, even better, tells me that this is where I want to buy. That is the price I'm willing to pay for it. And all-time highest price is where I want to sell it. So when I'm looking at it here, I'm seeing an arrow here. We are on a maximum monthly chart. So we purchased it already. Somewhere there, we are a little bit positive on this. And let's see if I sold it. No, I didn't sell it. Okay. So yeah, and it has now reached all-time highest price, or the last time it reached it was 2022. So it took us 4 years to come down, so it could take quite a bit of time to get up as well. So we are just going to continue observing it. But stocks like this are stocks I like to say they are more like an investment type of stocks, because it can take years when you buy it to sell it. And I like to focus on growth stocks And these stocks, I'm thinking that maybe I can just buy few share of them and just let them be in the portfolio and just, yeah, because at this point, I want to grow our account. So therefore, I like to focus on growth stocks that show more growth than the one that are slow growing, because they are stable stocks and their growth is kind of, steady but slow. So I just use a little bit of money, one share, $250 per trade, and just let it be there. Why not? Maybe at some point I might decide that those are good for me to start buying more of them, but for the time being, I don't want to ignore them completely or disqualify them completely, so that I can just keep analyzing them. They can just be on my list so that I can continue analyzing them, even if I don't want to buy them yet, or I don't want to buy much of them yet, because I want to continue growing my account with more stocks that show a lot of growth now. Yeah, but this will fall in those slow growth type of company. But I like the fact that it has been respecting this support line, and makes it easy for me to know where I want to buy. And it's still close to the buying area than it is to the selling area. We like to buy low and sell it high. It's the strategy we are using when it comes to swing trading. So thank you so much for your time. We thank you very much for watching our videos. Thank you for all your comments. And we thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi, and on our channel we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence. And swing trading could allow you to create another stream of income. Just start slowly and surely you'll get there. As a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader. I just swing trade in my husband and I joint account, and I like to share what is working for us, what is not working, what I'm learning with you, so that if you find some tips useful, you can improve them, customize them to fit your personality type, your risk tolerance, and use them in your own financial success journey. Will you please proceed with caution? For more videos in this series, we have over 200 videos in this series. Will you please check the playlist How to Start Swing Trading Step by Step Using Long Uptrend Lines in the description of this video. And this video is brought to you by our online store, Liberman.com. If you are looking for tote bags or cloth napkins, will you please check our online store, Liberman.com. Thank you so much for your time. Happy swing trading.